Hey guys, it's Turok. And today I'm talking to go over a couple things I thought of after yesterday's video, the chapter 1061 of One Piece. Last video, also if you've seen my last video, I fucked it up the audio somehow. I was trying to stream record, and do too many things at once with my video. And the audio just has, you can hear me, but there's like this buzzing, this sparky sound, whatever, after every time I speak almost. And that didn't work out too well. But last chapter we had a lot happen without a lot happening. It's great how Oda does that. First we had the Strawhats trying to save Bonnie, and Chopper and Luffy had to get saved in the process. Fortunately, we got Jinbei here now, who's can handle probably any kind of waters you can imagine. I wonder if a fisherman in there can handle stormy weather without any problem. I imagine if it's a typhoon or a hurricane, it could be some. But we got him there, and he saves the three of them. And but while that's happening, this mechanical shark comes out of nowhere and attacks the Sunny. Tries to attack Jinbei while he's got the other three, but he's easily able to outmaneuver it. But unfortunately, the Sunny did get hit with it. But due to its construction by what was it called, the wood of Adam or something like that, Adam wood, it was fine. But the other guys, Straw Hats, got capsized, and they were under the water. And we had other Devil Fruit users in the crew, so they had to be saved. We had Nico and Brooke especially, right? I forget. And the shark is then stopped by a robot that comes out of nowhere, and I thought it was Frankie's at first, but it was far too big, and we found out later it's not his. And then Bonnie and Luffy have a little talk where she's the one that shows that they're at this island that's part of Vegapunk's home base. And did I bring that up yesterday? I think I kind of did, but I'd forgotten about it too. Did I? That Frankie, Frankie, I did say that. Frankie had been on another island that Vegapunk used. And I'm wondering why he abandoned that, actually. He's now on this island in the New World. Like what a spot he's picked. He's at virtually the end of the New World. Part of the Grand Line. I wonder why he's there instead of, I forget what Frankie was with that island. I have to look. Somewhere in the blues, I think, right? But also, that's another thing. Tekken brought up a good point that Vegapunk is in two different islands. It has two different bases that were cold. And they, cold islands, I gotta write it down. And why would he be doing that? I'll just go over this now, actually. I was going to keep the recap. I do this stuff sporadically. I have a feeling that part of the reason he could be doing that is because he may want to use those islands to keep stuff on ice that he has to experiment on. I think even Caesar Clown was doing the same thing. He had his base in the cold area. Probably because it's easier to maintain stuff there than the lava, because he was on the lava. The other side was lava because of a Kainu. So he's there. Maybe Vegapunk needs to keep stuff on ice. I don't know. He's got other test subjects, Lunarians, like I keep thinking he has, or something like that. So he has some fascination or fixation or need for ice islands, cold islands, winter islands, and I'm really concerned. That's not good. So I'll finish the recap first. And quickly, we met some new members of Sword, and we saw this new G14 base, and Helmeppo was there, and him and another officer are trying to plead with the officers who command this base to go save Kobe, which they quickly struck down because they're thinking about this logically, and they know that going to that island where a literal emperor of the sea is living is not something they can do themselves. Like it just would be suicide for even if all these guys here went together. There's some big bruisers standing there with this rear admiral. I don't think they'll have a chance. And let's see what else. Yeah, we saw Tashigi, but we did not see Smoker, and they're waiting to find out about Drake, where Drake is. I was trying to think where Drake left. Where did we see last of Drake at Wano? I don't recall now. And there was something here about yeah. Oh yeah, and Hamepa wanted to try and get one of the Seraphims from what's his name to go over there, and I really doubt that a rear admiral or a vice admiral would have the authority to tell Vegapunk to send a Seraphim out for something like this. And I'm pretty sure one of the admirals would have to have the say to send a Seraphim over there. So that was kind of foolish of them to think that they can convince Vegapunk, in my opinion, on that. And so. Yeah, we find out Bonnie's here because she's going to talk to Vegapunk about Kuma, which makes a lot of sense. Hopefully we will get some information on that at least. And the last big reveal is that, well, a lot of us, I'm thinking that this is not the actual Dr. Vegapunk. We saw Vegapunk, we thought, but it's a girl, a young lady in her teens or early 20s. It seems to us that this Vegapunk, I'm thinking, is a clone, and other people were talking about like a robot. I think Tekken said that, or I watched another stream. I was watching another guy talk about it, and because also Vegapunk, we've assumed Vegapunk's a man, an old man, and the text here emphasizes that he has old timer speech. So this is probably not the real Vegapunk, or it could be any other variation of things. Tekken brought up a bunch of them in his the stream, and I didn't finish his video this morning. I bet he's going to talk more about that. But I wanted to talk about it myself before getting other ideas. So the big thing I'm thinking about, what I wanted to go over today, one of the other things that's bothering me is I'm a little worried about the Strawhats here. The Vegapunk's last line here before he introduces himself is that, you naive pirates, I'm not trying to save you. Like, to save them as like, oh, thank you for saving me. Well, I just save people because I can or whatever. I'm worried that the Vegapunk may want them as test subjects, that he may just scoop up whatever he can to have pirates and just experiment on them, much like Caesar's been doing too. And Caesar, though, just went under the pretense of pretending to save those people. And I think, didn't he have to do something? No, Law was doing something too and helping him do that, when he was switching bodies and doing some weird stuff. But Vegapunk, I wonder if he would avoid any sort of pretense of anything and just say, nope, you're mine. I have these Seraphims now, and you're my test subjects. And I'm quite worried about that. If that happens, like the intent, anyways. Well, these are the main characters, and they'll have a certain amount of plot armor. But we got various unique devil fruit users on the crew. We got Luffy, who's got a fruit where he is a human fruit, and he can become this unique being that can do all kinds of crazy shit to alter reality around him because he's awakened it now. And awakening fruits in general are pretty impressive, like we saw with Doflamingos. But then we got Brooks. Arguably the one if I was Vegapunk, I'd want to experiment with the most, because it can literally bring you back to life if you die. So your heart stops and you just come back to life. And it's like the Doctor Who, it's like the Time Lord of the power of the One Piece world, where you can reincarnate. Hey, there's a question. If someone eats the devil fruit of the Brooks fruit, I forget the name. Can you just eat it again and again and again? Holy shit, there's something right there. How many times can someone handle a devil fruit? You can't eat two at once. You can't eat two fruits at once, at least we've been told. And we're still not sure about if that's where Blackbeard has done something different. But supposedly you only can eat one fruit, and if you eat another one, you will explode. Or something like that. That's what we talked back at Ennie's Lobby. We learned about that. So, but can you just eat the fruit, come back to life, and then just eat another, bite it again, so that, and then you still can't swim, but you could like choose, then you could just choose when to eat it again if this was true. You could just like, okay, I just came back to life, mission's over, something, I'm going to take a vacation and swim around the beach. I go back to swimming now because that fruit uses up this thing and it's gone. But I have another version, another artificial one here, or copy, however that would work if they could do that. And then you could just eat it again, or if someone would kept finding it. So there's something. I'll call it the Time Lord fruit. So and then we also have Chopper's fruit. That's a human fruit that turned an animal, a normal reindeer, into a human. Now think of the implications there if that fruit could be replicated. A Vegapunk could make thousands of those, and you could turn animal stock into human things and then make them like soldiers or something. And then you could give them Brooks fruit if you could replicate that. There's a combination. Make human soldiers out of like animal livestock or something that you keep around easily. Chickens, whatever. Dangerous animals, lions, tigers. And then you can replicate the other stuff and keep them alive. As long as it was easy to make that kind of stuff, I guess. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned. And then Robin's fruit too, right? Nico Robin has a devil fruit where she can, what do you call it? She can, Nico Robin has a unique devil fruit too with the ability to produce arms almost anywhere. I don't remember like how much range she has with that, but it's still an impressive power she has. Would make for certain useful military applications. Or actually, I could see Vegapunk just wanting that kind of power for himself if he was going to make an artificial fruit and he wanted to eat it. I would have that one personally if I was him, so I can have arms everywhere and be able to multitask infinitely more than you already can, unless he's someone that likes to have robots or whatever. So, yeah, I'm hoping I'm wrong on that part. Like that I would feel like maybe our I don't know, how would you call it, like subvert our expectations would be changed up, but I'm worried that he'll want their devil fruit abilities or study them. Keep them as research subjects and study them. Also, he's got Seraphims there, so I don't know how they could resist. This would be a very interesting fight if Luffy and Sanji and Zoro have to fight a Seraphim to see how they would fare against that. And they're probably there. Also, how does he control those things, I wonder, too? Maybe we'll find out now how he controls something like that, if those things are organic beings as well as being robotic or cyborg things. And now he has Bonnie here, too. He gets Bonnie's fruit, too, as well. I keep forgetting Bonnie's with them. Her fruit controls age. There's another infinitely, almost OP power that he would want. So, he's got, if he wants to keep them as test subjects, he's run into quite the mother load. So yeah, and I'm just thinking about like how he seems very. I was thinking about him and what we just saw a little bit of Vegapunk contrasting with other crazy scientists we've seen. And mostly, I was thinking about Mayuri from Bleach, and how he's a very cold-blooded like researcher who doesn't care what he harms or does to anybody. Like he's experimented on Quincy's, and who I don't know what else was mentioned as his accolades as far as experimenting on stuff. But other than that, but he is a pretty awful character, an interesting character in some ways in Bleach. And I'm thinking, one thing I'm thinking might be a little different between him and Vegapunk is Vegapunk here seems like he's a bit of a perfectionist where he wants stuff to work just right, at least with his robots. And I remember that was something Mayuri despised the concept of, especially when he had that fight with that one Rancor Espada, the number 8 with the pink hair, and how he had that great speech, Mayuri, about if you reach perfection, there's no room to improve. There's no imagination possible. But Vegapunk seems not one who's not having any shortage of imagination, but does seem to want some level of perfection, I guess. Maybe you can't really call it perfection, but he wants something to work within the parameters he wants. So, what was the other thing, too? So, that's probably about it today. Damn, someone keeps calling here. There's just my girlfriend's phone in the background. Actually, one last thing I was thinking too just now is how come. I'm thinking how impressive fishmen have with abilities over water, and I'm wondering if Vegapunk. Why is Vegapunk not made a Seraphim yet or anything like that? A PX thing and used, or maybe he will use fishmen powers, blood into it because they can really do. Swim in the water in ways no one else, humans could never achieve. I mean, like Rayleigh swam through the conch just fine, but imagine a fishman with the strength of Rayleigh. Imagine if he can make those Seraphim, like one that's made by Mihawk or somebody who's probably nearly equally strong as Rayleigh, let's just go with more or less. And it can be a fishman too. Imagine how fast that thing could go through water. So like, damn, there's so much there. I keep thinking of like other races that we know about that could be incorporated perhaps into the Seraphim. Imagine if he had Big Mom again. I know I said Big Mom and Kaido. They were amazing. And what if he had the Third-Eyed Tribe too? Or Giant. Holy shit, there you go. What if he can take Giant and make a gigantic Seraphim out of that? Like, that would be something right there. And then he can make it into Lunarian or Fishmen. Though it seems it's interesting here. We've seen that like it looks like robotics is one of his big things. So he could just make a giant robot Seraphim. Maybe he's more into doing the robot stuff instead. So we'll have to see how that goes. Also looks like someone. We were talking about how this is supposed to be a cold island, and I saw the palm tree things. I noticed other teching saw too, and someone colored in a panel there, and it does look like they colored that in to look like palm trees. So what's going on there where it was cold, and but the island doesn't look like it's if that coloring was done correctly, like we because Oda did it. That's an official coloring, I'm sure. It's very impressive though, but if Oda just. We'll have to figure that out next time too. Also, by the way, did he destroy that shark? We saw him sock the shark real hard, but we don't know if he destroyed it. I guess that's it for today. This video is somewhat shorter than my other ones, but I'll probably see if I can think. That's what I was thinking about today. Mostly was my concern with Vegapunk and what he'll do to them if he's indeed a cold-blooded researcher of sorts. Will he report them to the government? Will he reveal anything? There's something. Is he the kind of guy who will like to monologue, and even if he captures them, he helps? We still get like the explanations we want of what devil fruits are and how they work. That would be great to find out whether he's getting that way or if he's some kind of ally in some ways. Because that's right. He supposedly. Did he have some connections with there was something with him in the Revolutionary Army, I recall. And that was another thing too. If he is someone who's with them, they'll have to. I saw a comment somewhere that pointed out that there's some way the Strawhats have to be indebted to Vegapunk because he turned Kuma into the way he is, and that something with how because Kuma helped defend the Sunny for the last 2 years. He was sitting there with it the whole time, more or less. So wait a minute, how come Kuma was there? When did he end up going back to Marijois and becoming a pet to that one celestial dragon? Now I gotta look up that timeline to figure that out, because he was there, so he was, and how did the world government wonder where he was because he's still a warlord at that time, this was when he was defending the Sunny. He must have been, would he report in now and then? Did he keep a transponder snail? Like, did the warlords have special ones that keep with them when they get a call? There's questions there. So we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out more about what happened with Kuma here, because Bonnie is there to find out about Kuma, so we can find out about his connection too. So that's about it. Oh, jeez, you crazy. That's enough for me, I guess. Okay.